Croatia population just under 4 million people. To put that in perspective, that's smaller than Los Angeles, smaller than Sydney, a country so small it barely registers on a world map. And yet, in the summer of 2018, this tiny nation reached the World Cup final. They did it without a superstar striker, without a generational goalkeeper, without the resources, the infrastructure, or the population base of the giants they knocked out along the way. They did it because of one man in the middle of the pitch, reading the game 3 moves ahead, covering ground nobody his size should be able to cover, and absolutely refusing to let his country lose. This is Luka Modric's World Cup story, and it's one of the most unlikely in the history of the game. Germany 2006. Before we get to the glory, we have to go back to the beginning. Germany. Modric is 20 years old. He's not yet the player the world will come to know. He's a young midfielder at Dinamo Zagreb, technically gifted, clearly intelligent, but still raw. Still learning what it takes to compete at the very top. Croatia are placed in a group with Brazil, Australia, and Japan. They go out in the group stage. Modric plays all 3 matches and contributes nothing spectacular. No goals, no assists, nothing that would suggest what was coming. But he's watching. He's learning. He's filing things away. Some players peak early. Modric was always going to be a late arrival. The gap, and Brazil 2014, Croatia didn't qualify for the 2010 World Cup. For a player like Modric, fiercely proud of where he came from, aware of how few opportunities a small nation gets on the world stage. That absence stung. By 2014, he was a different player. Real Madrid had signed him. He'd won La Liga. He was establishing himself as one of the finest midfielders in Europe. But Croatia in 2014 were not a vintage side, and the draw was unkind. Opening match against host nation Brazil, a game Croatia lost 3-1 amid controversial refereeing decisions. They were eliminated in the group stage. 2 World Cups, 2 early exits. By any measure, Modric's World Cup record was underwhelming. Plenty of people were starting to wonder whether the big stage would ever deliver for him. Then came Russia. Russia 2018. This is the chapter that changes everything. Croatia opened against Nigeria. Comfortable win. Then came Iceland. A draw. Solid, professional, nothing explosive. And then Argentina. This was the match where the world sat up and paid proper attention. Argentina, with Messi, with Di Maria, with a squad packed with established names, were dismantled. Croatia won 3-0, and Modric was at the center of everything, pulling strings, dictating rhythm, and then, in the 80th minute, striking a long-range shot that flew into the top corner. It was the kind of goal that makes commentators reach for superlatives they've been saving. Croatia finished top of their group. Then the knockouts began. Denmark, extra time. Penalties. Croatia through. Russia, extra time, penalties. Croatia through. England, extra time. A Mario Mandzukic goal in the 109th minute. Croatia through to their first ever World Cup final. Think about what that means. A country of 4 million people facing England in the semi-final of World Cup, going to extra time and winning. In Modric's post-match interview, his eyes were red, not from exhaustion, from emotion. The final against France was the one that got away. Croatia were competitive. They fought, but France were clinical. And a fortunate own goal, a contested handball decision, and 2 moments of individual quality from Mbappe and Pogba proved too much. 4-2. Croatia finished second. And Modric won the Golden Ball. In a tournament that featured Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Salah. Luka Modric was named the best player. A 32-year-old central midfielder from a country 4 million. People call home. It remains one of the most deserved individual awards in recent World Cup history. Qatar 2022. Nobody expected much from Croatia in Qatar. Modric was 37, the squad at age. The golden generation was running out of road. They beat Morocco in the group stage. Drew with Belgium. Scraped through. Then Japan in the round of 16 penalties. Croatia through. Then Brazil in the quarter-finals. Brazil. Neymar, Vinicius, Jr., the tournament favorites. Croatia held them for 90 minutes, then held them through extra time. Then won on penalties. Modric, at 37, was still on the pitch at the final whistle, still driving forward, still making runs, still demanding the ball. They lost the semi-final to Argentina, the eventual champions, but they beat Morocco in the third-place match and finished the tournament in bronze position, third place. For a nation of 4 million. 2 goals, 4 World Cups, 1 final, 1 Golden Ball, 2 top 3 finishes. Those are the numbers. They don't quite tell the story. The story is about a boy from a town in the Dalmatian hinterland who grew up during the war, who watched his grandfather get killed, who survived displacement and uncertainty before football gave him a way forward. The story is about a player who was written off for being too small, too slight, not physical enough for the modern game, who went on to win 5 Champions Leagues, a Ballon d'Or, and became the heartbeat of one of the most overachieving national teams in world Cup history. There may be a 2026 chapter still to come. At 40, it will be extraordinary. But then, extraordinary is rather Modric's default setting. Croatia without Modric is a good team. Croatia with Modric is something else entirely. Football has given us very few players like him. And when he finally walks off that pitch for the last time, the game will be quieter for his absence. If this story hit different, hit subscribe. More of these coming.